Good Saturday afternoon. I am coming to you today from the wonderful city of Brooksville, Florida, and I am currently standing in Springhill Cemetery, one of the most haunted cemeteries in the Florida area, and from around, what I understand, from the entire country, the United States. I've been coming to this place for years, over 20 years easily. And it has actually improved a great deal over the years. When I first started coming here, it was a shithole. I mean, it sucked big time. It was terrible. It was nasty, it was dilapidated, the grass was overgrown. And now, as you look around, look behind me here, you can see that it's actually cleaned up. It is very nice. They've cleaned up the grounds. Now, I did read online that there was a few problems with the last owners of this graveyard. Why would you want to own a graveyard? I don't get it, but to each their own, I guess. But there was problems. The last owner didn't care. They didn't give any kind of headway, anything about what was going on, the conditions, or anything of that nature. Which is terrible, because this is people's final resting place. There should be a little bit of dignity brought, with that aspect alone. Now, another thing interesting about this graveyard is back in the 20s and 30s, this particular graveyard was also known as Black's Graveyard. And there's a large percentage of African Americans buried here. And that is due to the fact that this place originally started out as a killing ground for the Ku Klux Klan back in the 20s, 30s, and I think up actually into the 50s. I'm not positive, so please don't quote me on that. No nasty comments like, no fuckface, that's not the way it is. If I'm wrong, correct me. But from the research I've done, that's exactly what I've read. So, a lot of people to this day claim that, let me see if I can find the right tree. I believe it's this tree right behind me here, this one right here, this part of the tree right here. People have reported seeing an apparition hanging from the tree. And the apparition is always explained the same way, as being that of African-American gentleman and hanging with a very distinct noose around his neck. That's absolutely deplorable, but it is what it is. Now, another thing cool about this cemetery, I've come out here several times and I've caught EVPs many times out here. Many times. I've had them actually answer me intelligently, answer clearly. I've had them tell me to go to hell. I've had them tell me to get out. But, it's just one of those fancy cemeteries. And like when I lived in Illinois, coming here once a year was just about as much fun. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the wife and the daughter. Where'd they go off to? Because we have people sitting off into the back here and they're staring at us, and I don't know why they're staring at us. And I just hope they're not dicks, because I don't want to have to do anything. I'm just hoping that they're going to chill and stay in their car, because there is many reports back here of crazy shit happening. Okay? That's why I didn't want to bring them back here in the daytime. In the nighttime. Because there's too much crazy shit going on. Like over here, this road used to go all the way around and come up around this way in front of us here. They've closed that road off. I don't know why. But now you only got one way in and one way out. And that's the entrance over there, right here. It's, if you're into cemeteries and you're into history, this is definitely the place for you to come. There is history like you wouldn't believe here. There is World War II, World War I vets buried back here. There is homemade gravestones that you just look at and you go, wow, that's ingenious. How did they, some of them would just simply lay out a simple form, a square form, pour a concrete on it while it was still wet, write the name and the deceased's date and all that. Let it dry, bust them boards off, and just lay it on the ground where they're buried. Pretty damn ingenious, really, if you think about it. Because what's a headstone run you about? anywhere from $100 to $200 now. I don't know, I haven't really priced them lately, but the gist of it is this place, I mean, look at this right here. Look at that. They got these big hunks of, I'm talking about this stuff here. These things are on there because when it floods, these things will pop up out of the ground. If it floods too bad back here, they'll actually pop up out of the ground, which is kind of scary in a way. But I mean, look at some of these old ones here. This one here, let's see if I get it all in there. This guy was 42, and I'm trying to see a date here. She was it was a mother. But it, or Lester Timmons. Look at, okay, here's the date. Here it is, 1905. This dude passed away in 1905. And you know, it's nice to know that your memory will go on in a place like this. But you really have to wonder how many family members actually come back here and pay their respects to their deceased ones. I know a lot of people that don't, and I think that's wrong. I think that you should once in a while remember your loved ones if they're in a cemetery. Personally, I think a cemetery is a waste of time and money. Just go with cremation. It's faster, it's better. You don't have to worry about getting your own little piece of property in a little ground here and hoping that you got some good neighbors for your eternity. But I mean, here, let me show you this one too. This is, let me get the camera around this way. Look at this. 1907 to 1984. I mean, granted, 84. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that long ago, but well, it is that long ago. It's 40 some years ago. I mean, here's one of the homemade graves. Look at this. This one simply says Annie T. Bell. This is a homemade gravestone, homemade placard, and look how long it is. They just simply poured concrete out and, like I said, wrote in it when it was wet. Here you go. So, you know, if you can, come on out to Brooksville. Excuse me. The place is called Springhill Cemetery. It's in Brooksville, Florida. It's right off of Fort Dade Avenue, which is right off of Cortez. It's a beautiful area now. It seems to be pretty safe. There was years before it wasn't really that safe. You could really worry about a few things, like people popping out of the woods behind you there. You get a couple crack whores and shit jump out of the woods at you. And I got people over here just staring me down. Can't see if you see them or not. There's a car over there. But they are just sitting there watching us, and I have no idea why they're watching us. We're not doing. Now they're leaving. No, they're not leaving. They pull up and they stop. They pull up and they stop. I don't get it myself, but it's a public cemetery. Anybody can come out here. It doesn't make a difference. So, but remember, Brooksville Cemetery, or Brooksville, Florida, Springhill Cemetery, and lots of history, lots of paranormal activity. We're going to do a little bit of EVP recording here in a bit, as soon as I'm done with this video. And oh, there go our friends. They're moving. See? There they are. That car behind me? They're going real slow. Hey, why don't you guys walk over this way? Just.
Yeah, we didn't hit that area over there.
Yeah, I didn't go over there either because of those people are the way they're eyeballing us. They're giving us some dirty ass fucking looks, like we're doing something completely wrong. But as far as history of the area, you look it up online. Springhill Cemetery, phenomenally interesting place. You just can't beat it for just the pure history, and you will feel instantly different when you walk into these gates. There's just a feel of it. And there's our buddies again. They have started over here, and they just slowly are cruising, and they're watching the shit out of us like we're doing something wrong, and I can't quite figure it out. But there they are. See them? I'll put them on video. That way, if they do anything stupid, I got them on video. Oh, now they're waving at us. Oh, they got kids in the car. Let's take the kids to the cemetery. Yay! Wait a minute. That's what I did. So, where are they going to go? I think they're leaving now. Yep. As you can see, that's the entrance over there, where they're taking off at. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Oh, I lost them. There they are. Now there's a big gate up there. Now, for many years, that gate didn't exist. It was just simply a hit or miss when you came out here because the old owners apparently would just lock the place up by throwing shit in front of the driveway, and they didn't care. Granted, this is all what I've read. I don't know if I can't verify any of this. This is all just what I've read online and whatnot. Okay, our friends are gone, so I think we're going to examine the new area. There's a new area up here, right up in here, that has never been developed, and now it has been developed, and it's nice. It's amazing. This used to be a circle. If you look on maps on Google, and you Google it, and you'll see it used to be a circle that went completely around. Well, they've cut it off. Now it's just like over where our car is at. It stops right there where it used to come all the way around, but it doesn't anymore. So I'm sure there's a reasoning for that. I don't know exactly what it is. Really don't care. It's just something I'm pointing out for you. If you come here, they say some of the best times to come is just as the sun is going down. I've been out here, goddamn sun. I've been out here in, I thought I heard something. I've been out here when it's been in the middle of the day, early morning, night. Last time I was, well, a couple years back when I was here, back here there's a road that goes back. And I actually walked down that road at night, and it was a dumb thing to do. It really was. It was stupid. Scary, exhilarating, dumb. Nothing happened, but still nonetheless, something you should never do. So, that being said, I'm going to cut this one out of here. A really short video for me, not my usual 30 minutes, because I want to do some other things while I'm out here. We're kind of fighting the time because the sun is getting ready to go down in just a little bit. So I'm going to break out the big speaker and do some EVPs, and if I get anything, I'll throw another video up, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't normally have the feeling I could do when I come out here when I know I'm going to get some. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you could, please hit that subscribe button just for me, because I'm trying to get my subscriber base up to 50. I'm at 34 now. I'm trying real hard to get it up there. Well, that sounded dirty, didn't it? Trying real hard to get it up there. Trying to get the subscription number up higher, not anything else, you perverted people. And if you watch me, that's why I know you're perverted, because you're nice people. And we are out of here, and you have a great Saturday night. We will talk to everybody on the next video. Goodbye.